My name's Christian Payne, Documentally online, and when I was asked at school, what do you want to do? I had no idea, and I feel for the kids of today who are probably going to be entering jobs that don't even exist yet. And I get asked, what is it that you actually do? And I don't know the answer to that really either. When I was asked what did you want to do, I wasn't sure. So I just quit university and went travelling for about 10 years to find out what it was I wanted to do. I did remember that I always kind of wanted to be a stuntman. Stuntman was quite high up there, and I wasn't sure how to get to the stage of being a stuntman, but when you are living and working hand to mouth, travelling, I just said yes to everything. Yes, I can do that, find out if I can later on, but I was hungry. And I ended up doing a whole array of jobs, including stuntman at one point. I was a touring bungee jump kind of exhibitioner. And I tried to count how many jobs I'd had the other night, and I lost count at about 40 something. And I'm thinking, wow, what kind of person has that made me, apart from unemployable? The one job that really stuck in my mind, though, was one of the last jobs I did when I was travelling. And it was pastore. And I could say, when somebody said, what do you do for a living? Io sono pastore, which is the only Italian I know. I'm a shepherd. And the fact that I was living isolated 6 hours from the nearest person because I just said yes when someone said, do you want to be a shepherd? I love this quote, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. And I didn't want the nervousness of knowing how to do so. Obviously, if someone said, do you want to be a brain surgeon? I'd say no. I mean, let me read some books first. But everything else, I felt pretty confident. I'll learn on the job. I'll have a go. And when I came down from the mountain in the non-biblical sense and thought I need to re-enter society, I said, I'll become a photographer. I've taken loads of selfies because there's nobody else on the mountain with me. And now I know how to use a camera, and I became a photographer. At exactly the same time that everybody else in the world became a photographer. And I suddenly realised that how can I begin to do something if everybody in disruption kind of comes along and does it better or quicker or faster? So I thought maybe I'll do something more than just take pictures, and I will add more to the photos in order to kind of take myself away from the other photographers. Maybe instead of selling photos, I'll sell my abilities to take photos, but also give audio with the photos. So I left the newspapers and I became a blogger. The printing press taught everybody to read, the internet taught everybody to write. And along with that came documenting, sharing, collaborating, networking. And I learned a very big lesson on February the 13th, 2008, when I rolled a Land Rover quite publicly, because I kind of broke my own news into my Nokia N95, and the video went viral. People were like, look at this guy, he's just crashed his car, share, share, share. Everybody came to my assistance, and I was absolutely blown away that out there, it wasn't another universe, it wasn't just me going on about what I do for a living. There was this incredibly enabling network, so I decided to follow people stronger, better, faster, quicker, really good at what they did, so that I could plug into them and learn from them, and I could do what I could for them as well. So I've kind of settled down a little bit with 3 business models. I now talk, I teach, and I document. Because when that tidal wave of disruption comes and documenting is hit, I'll talk and teach. When talking's hit, I'll teach and document, if that's the right way around. And that way I've always got something to fall back on. Everything is kind of tied together with story, I guess, with narrative. And I'd rather train myself and rest on my experiences to surf this kind of constant wave of change, which is never going to go as slow as it is right now. It's just going to get faster, and I do get a little bit nervous when I think about what the workscape is going to look like in a few years' time. Especially when in my job I have to deliver to all these crazy devices. How do I, deliver to the screens that we already have, let alone the useless Google Glass? I was in San Francisco for a week last week, and I saw one person wearing them at the airport, and he couldn't look anybody in the eye because he was embarrassed. And hearables. I'm excited about hearables. I think that the discrete in-your-ear devices, the ability to share information to these places and be notified discreetly, is definitely an interesting way forward. So constantly excited. Sometimes it gets expensive. If you go to documentally.com/kit, you'll see a constantly evolving list of equipment that I test, I experiment with. I shoot pro video, pro audio, whatever I can get on whatever I can get, and then I realise that, hang on, maybe my phone is enough half the time, overcomplicating things, and I can share text, audio, video, geographical data, photos. I wish I could draw, I wish I could illustrate, because I would also do that, photograph it, and share that from my phone as well. So I don't think we should overcomplicate things, but we need to be in a space where we play, experiment, have fun, because that's where the kind of biggest learnings, I believe, come from. Whatever can't be networked will become less important. I noticed that not only with my devices right now, but as I was a photographer with a little black book, which was gold dust to me, the internet turned that little black book into this infinitely large connection of people all around the world that I can tap into, that I could plug into. And that kind of blows me away. And I really do love my job. I'm one of those annoying people, I'm afraid. I think I've learned the line between work and play, because play and playing at this is where I make the best mistakes, and from the best mistakes come the best stories and the quickest learnings. This guy makes 22-hour-long documentaries because he wants to, not because he thinks anybody will pay any attention to them. So what do I do for a living? I don't know, I guess I have fun. Maybe I could complicate that and say I further understanding through narrative. Thought that up on the way. But if I can entertain, educate, inspire, assist, then I really feel like I'm doing something and giving back to the network. And I'd like to leave you with a question. If what you do becomes who you are, what would you like to be, and what are you doing now? Thanks very much. Brilliant.